day 17, and we pulled number 15 today, which is this little book here. And I honestly can't remember which book this is. I can't think of what I have left that's this size. So we're going to find out together. And we have Ani again, and Nidra's laying right here as always. But yeah, so we'll find that out in just a second. As far as yesterday goes, I pulled Christmas After All, The Great Depression Diary of Minnie Swift, which is a Dear America book. I did read this one. My my mindfulness prompt was to decorate mindfully, which is the 17th, and we still have not decorated. So we're hopefully going to get that done this weekend, if it will focus, sort of. So yeah, so I'll definitely, you know, think about the tree and the memories and everything like it says. But yeah, this one I really enjoyed. I do like the Dear America series. I enjoyed the other one, which was When Christmas Comes Again, a bit more than this one. I actually learned stuff that I didn't know about in that one. And so yeah, but did enjoy this. It was a good, perfect read for Christmas time. And then the day before, I had drawn An Echo Through the Snow by Andrea Thalasinos, and I didn't get to it at all the day before, so I definitely worked it in yesterday. I'm DNFing this one. I only read about 24 pages, and I'm, 2 chapters, but the writing is so choppy. It's not very cohesive at all. It isn't making any sense whatsoever, which is a shame because I was really excited about the premise of this book. And so yeah, I'm like, I don't think so. So, and the mindful prompt for this one was to perform an act of kindness, and do it anonymously, which I don't really have a lot of opportunities to do that. So I think what I'm planning on doing after dog training, I normally get a late lunch, early dinner. And so I might do like the pay for the person behind me or something like that. Because I've always wanted to do that and I never have. So I might do that as my act of kindness. That's anonymous. So we'll see. And then I also did finish Christmas with Holly, or Christmas Eve at Friday Harbor was how it was originally published. This was my buddy read with B over at Mama Needs to Read Romance. So we read this and we were chatting about it yesterday and really overall enjoyed it. It is pretty short, so the characters aren't as well developed as they could be, but still just really, really cute, perfect for the holidays. So got that read, even though that was not part of the 24 Days of Bookmas. Now let's go ahead and see what book 15 is. So like I said, I can't quite remember what this one is, so we're gonna find out together, and we'll just have to see. Oh, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is now. So this is Danielle Still, The Gift. The covers kind of has this texture to it, so as soon as I felt it, I knew exactly what it is. So this is The Gift. I don't know what it is about because it does not have a synopsis on it. But there's a little blurb that says, "It was America in the 50s, a simpler place, a simpler time. Few modern writers convey the pathos of family and marital life with such heartfelt empathy. Danielle Still has again uplifted her readers while skillfully communicating some of life's bittersweet verities. Who could ask for a finer gift than that?" And that's from the Philadelphia Inquirer. So yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what it's about, but it's about a family. So, and this one's not too long. And let's see how many pages it exactly is. So it's about 275 pages. So should be doable. We have some things to do this morning, and like I said, we are planning on decorating. I don't know if that will be today or tomorrow. But should be able to settle down this evening with this one for sure. So excited to have it. And yeah, that's kind of update for today. I do want to try to continue on with A Case of Two Cities, which I've been working on since last month. Because last night I had a dream that I was like, what's the word I'm looking for? I totally just lost it. But I was like a detective. So I was kind of trying to figure out something, and then I ended up going to China. So that book is obviously still on my mind, so I really need to get back to reading it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave you for now, and I'll be back in just a moment, and we'll see what I have for day 18. And yeah, we're a week out from Christmas Eve and Christmas. That's so crazy. I'm so excited. So yeah, I'll be right back with tomorrow's pick. Alright, we are on day 18. No dogs today. They're helping Daddy cook breakfast. But we pulled number 14 today, which is this book here. I think this might be the last Nora Roberts book that has like 2 stories in it, I think. But we'll find out in a second. So yesterday I had pulled The Gift by Danielle Still. I did not get this read at all. Didn't even start it because we went to brunch with my husband's mom, and then we came home, we put up the Christmas tree, and then we played games all evening, which I love board games, like I'm obsessed. And so that was really, really nice. We played 2 games of Sorry and a full game of Monopoly. I won at Sorry, he crushed me at Monopoly. So anyway, I'm going to have to work on both of these today, but we don't have anything to do. It's just going to be a very chill day today. So hopefully I can get a lot of reading done. And I know if this is the Nora Roberts book, that will be really quick. And this one shouldn't be too bad either. So let's go ahead and see what I got here on day 14, or number 14. It's day 18. I'm so excited. I hope this next week flies by because I'm definitely ready for Christmas. Like, I am in the Christmas spirit for sure. So, let's see here. Oh, it's not. Okay. So I am excited. So this is an anthology. And with the anthologies, well, actually, this isn't quite an anthology. It's sort of, they kind of collabed together to create, like, cohesive characters that go along with each other. This is Christmas Bells of Georgia. It has Jeanie Smith Cash, Rose Ellen McCauley, Jeri Odell, and Deborah Ullrick as the authors. And this one sounded really, really interesting, so I'm definitely going to try to read the whole thing. Because it says, 4 letters are mailed from Monticello, a small antebellum town in Georgia. Sisters once, now heirs to a historic plantation, each young woman must come to terms with the circumstances of her birth. When she learns in a letter she's adopted, Holly feels betrayed by her parents, and she books a flight out of Missouri immediately. Will she ever be able to love again? Raised in a wealthy, loveless home, Carol rushes to Monticello from college in Atlanta when she receives her letter. She's searching for family, but finds instead a boy she once mistreated. Will he remember her? Forgive her? In 1 year, Star has lost her parents, boyfriend, and job, so she's sure her letter is more bad news. When the attorney flies to California to offer proof, Star takes a second look at the message and the man. And then Noelle always knew she was adopted, and she's always loved the foreman on her father's Texas ranch, too. But he's so distant. Perhaps a trip to Georgia is the break in life she needs. Will the sisters receive a traditional Christmas gift? A love. So, yeah, I hauled this at a thrift store, and I'm really, really excited to read this. This just sounds like a fun time. So, definitely going to settle in. I think what I'll do is I'll probably start with The Gift, and read as much as I can during the day, and then this evening I will settle down to this one. So that's kind of the overall plan, and yeah, I will see you in just a moment, and we will see what I pull tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm really, really hoping to, there's only like a couple of short ones left, but I would like a short one tomorrow and on Wednesday, because tomorrow I have my dog training, and on Wednesday I have I'm going to go see my grandparents, so that'll take a bulk of the day. So I really like short ones for those days, but we just shall see. Anyway, I'll be right back. It's day 19, and today we pulled number 24, which unfortunately is this chunky one. We have Anya here and Nidra here, in case you're new. Although I mentioned in this video, this is all compilation. But anyway, so this is a chunky one. It's one of two. I have the Christmas Prairie book, and I also still have Nora Roberts' First Snow book. So it's one of those. I'm not sure which one, because there's only 2 chunky books left. So I was kind of hoping for a shorter book because I got dog training today and I got some stuff to do this morning, so I won't be able to read till this evening, which means another book I won't be able to finish today, but we shall see. Anyway, before we open that, yesterday I pulled Christmas Bells of Georgia, and this one, it's 4 authors, but they kind of collabed for like one story, but each author is writing a different sister story, and then they all come together at the end. So really interesting premise. Unfortunately, I just read the first part, which was the first sister, Holly, and not the greatest writing, unfortunately, but since the others are by different authors, I'm definitely going to stick with it and read what they wrote, and hopefully their writing is a little bit better, because I do like the premise of it and the idea of it. Just the first one was a little bit rough. So basically it's 4 sisters. They were adopted out to different families, and then they get a letter, and they're inheriting this plantation, and they're all supposed to come together on their birthday, which is at Christmas, in order to inherit this plantation and figure out what's going on. So the first one wasn't great, but we'll see what the other sisters bring to the table. So I only got the first part read of that because I didn't start that until right before bedtime. And then all day I was reading The Gift by Danielle still, which was the pick for the previous day. And I hadn't read it because we were decided to play board games and such. So I started this. I was planning just reading it, in the morning, maybe into the afternoon, and then switching over. Ended up loving this and just read it all day until I finished it. I'm going to do a separate video on this. This one, I didn't know what it was about going in. And yeah, I ended up loving it. So there will be a video probably after this one, maybe before, I don't know. It just depends on when I can get on the computer and get it uploaded. So we shall see. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this one for sure. This is only the second novel by Danielle still. I've read 2 other like of her nonfiction, one about her dogs and one about her when she was going and giving gifts and such to the homeless and whatnot. So this is my second novel by her, and the first one was The Ring, and I really loved that one too and really enjoyed this one. I did also start Winners. It was one of the 24 Days of Bookmas. I haven't continued it. I think I read like 70 pages. I haven't continued it. I wasn't enjoying it, but I wasn't hating it either. So I definitely want to finish that one. But like I said, this one just hooked me right in and absolutely loved it. So anyway, that being said, let's see what this chunky book is. And see what I'll be reading this evening after I'm done with everything else. But yeah, I don't know which one I would rather. I guess the Prairie one, because it's a bunch of anthologies. There's like 9 different stories. And so I can just read a couple of those. So like I said, the anthologies, if I finish them, great. If I don't, I'm not all that worried about it. So let's go ahead and see. Yes. Okay, so this is a Prairie Christmas collection. It has stories by Tracie Peterson, Bateman, Deborah, Raney, Pamela Griffin, JoAnn A. Grote, Maryn, Linger, Darlene, Mindrup, Janet, Spaeth, and Jill Stengl. So you can see all the authors' names there. But really actually excited for this. This has 9 historical Christmas romances from America's Great Plains. So settling the vast open prairies, weathering the winter storms, and finding joy to celebrate during Christmas epitomizes the pioneer experience. In this unique collection of 9 Christmas romances, readers will relive a prairie Christmas with all its challenges and delights as penned by multi-published authors. The warmth of Christmases will radiate in new love from the high plains of Minnesota and Dakota Territory across the rolling hills of Nebraska, Iowa, and Illinois, and down into the flats of Kansas. Filled with inspiration and faith, each story will be a treasure to be enjoyed again next year. So here's all the titles, in case you're interested, if it'll, so, not really focusing for whatever reason, but there you go. Those are the titles. Take Me Home by Tracie Bateman, One Wintry Night by Pamela Griffin, Image of Love by JoAnn Grote, Christmas Necklace by Maryn Linger, Christmas Gift of Love by Darlene Mindrup, God Jewel by Tracie Peterson, Circle of Blessings by Deborah Raney, Christmas Cake by Janet Spaeth, and Colder Than Ice by Jill Stengl. So, yeah, excited to read a few of these tonight, and we'll see how many more I get to read after that for the season, but, you know, these are just for fun. I'm not going to push myself too hard, so that is what I got today, and like I said, I have a busy day, so it won't be till this evening that I get to that, so probably won't be able to read anything else today, but I'm going to go ahead and leave you here for the moment, and I'll be right back, and we'll see what day 20 brings. I can't believe we're in the last final week before Christmas. I'm so, so very excited, and I gave everybody my book wish list, and so I'm excited to see what I'm going to be getting to. So anyway, I'll be back in just a moment. We are on to day 20, so we're really getting down to the wire now. And today we pulled number 19, which is this book here. So there's still, it's probably one of the children's books. I still have a Heartland book, a Thoroughbred book, and there's another book that's the size I have that I can't remember. So yeah, we'll find out what that is in just a second. Yesterday I pulled a Prairie Christmas collection, which has 9 historical Christmas romances. I didn't even touch this yesterday. I was just working all day past my bedtime. So this is definitely, I'm gonna read at least 1 or 2 of these today as well, in addition to whatever we get. But yeah, didn't touch it at all. My mindfulness prompt was to look out the window. And so I did, you know, go to dog training, so I was driving and looking at the scenery and such. And I often do that. Like, I like looking outside and just looking at the area. So that was that. But yeah, nothing really to report for yesterday. So let's go ahead and see what book 19 is. This is one of the ones I wrapped way too well. I can already tell. So let me just kind of get an opening here. So let's see what we got. If I can, please. I really wrapped this one well. Didn't want myself to get into it, apparently. So, all right, let's see what it is. Okay. So it's not one of the children's books. This is The Cat Who Came Back for Christmas, How a Cat Brought a Family the Gift of Love by Julia Romp. And I just picked this one up recently at the thrift store and was really excited about it. Well, this is a cat that came back for Christmas, And after I got this one, I went to the thrift store again and found The Cat Who Came for Christmas by, I forget the author, but of course I'll insert a picture. Cleveland Amory or something like that. But yeah, so this one I'm really excited for because not only does it have a cat, her son is autistic. So it says Julia's 9-year-old son George was autistic. Quiet and withdrawn, he appeared lost in his own world. Then one day a small black and white stray cat appeared in her garden and George's face lit up. George bonded with Ben and began to open up to his mother as well. For 3 happy years the trio was inseparable, and George made remarkable progress. But then disaster struck. Ben went missing and George regressed. The weeks turned into months and Christmas was fast approaching, but on December 21st, Julia got a call from a family more than 50 miles away, which finally offered a ray of hope. Genuinely touching, The Cat Who Came Back for Christmas is a story about devotion, love, and a holiday miracle. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to read this one for sure. So I have stuff to finish up on the computer. I still need to do my dog training notes this morning. And I'm already started on chores, so hopefully by the afternoon I can settle in to start reading and just read on through to the evening. But that's kind of the plan for today. And I'm really hoping there's 3 more short ones and 1 chunky one. I gotta go visit my grandparents tomorrow, so I'm hoping for the shortest one that's on my TBR at all. But if I got one of the other 2, which is one of the children's books, I'd be happy with that as well. I just really don't want the chunky one tomorrow. Thursday or Friday for the chunky one would be fine, but definitely not tomorrow. But we shall see what I do get in just a moment. All right, we are on day 21, and today we got number 13, which is one of my favorite numbers. The book we picked up is this one, so this is either the Thoroughbred Winter Special Book or one of the Heartland Winter Special Books. I think it's the Thoroughbred book just because it's a little bit thicker, and I know that one's a little bit thicker than the Heartland one, so that's my guess, but we shall see in a second. As far as yesterday's poll, I pulled The Cat Who Came Back for Christmas by Julia Romp. And I did start this one. I read the first part of it, and then I switched over to my pick from the day before, which is a Prairie Christmas collection, which has 9 different historical romances by a bunch of different authors there. I read the first one in this, which was Take Me Home by Tracie v. Bateman. And it was only 50 pages, so really, really short, but it was so well written. Like, I absolutely loved that one. So even though the others are by different authors, I think this is going to be a really good collection. So I definitely want to continue on with this one as well. But yeah, this was my pick from day 19 and just ended up not getting to it at all. I worked all day long. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the first story from this one, and I really enjoyed the first part of The Cat Who Came Back for Christmas. It's really cute. It's kind of, right now, it's talking about, the first part was talking about more just her struggles, like she didn't know, and she kept telling people, like, there's something wrong, like, he won't stop crying, never sleeps, like, and things have to be just so, and everybody just kind of blamed her and thought he was a naughty child and kind of blamed her for that since she was a single mom raising him. Lives in England, so it's a little bit different as far as like some of the like words, like the phrasing and such, and whatnot. But yeah, so far really, really enjoying this one too, and I can't wait to continue both of these. Probably won't be today, but my plan is after today I don't really have anything, so my plan is to just the next couple days through to Christmas is just sit and read and try to catch up on all these books, so that way after Christmas I can do the last week, I can just focus on the other books that weren't part of the 24 Days of Bookmas that I need to read. So let's go ahead and see what book number 13 is. I'm really excited if either one, because one I love Heartland, and then if it is the Thoroughbred books, since it kind of is Ashleigh again, which if you've been around my channel, you know I like the Thoroughbred books up to the point where it kind of changed from Ashleigh as the main character. So I didn't follow along with the series after that. Alright, it is. So we have Thoroughbred, Ashleigh's Christmas Miracle, and this is by Joanna Campbell. So yeah, really, really excited. Like I said, it's a little bit chunkier, but these are such quick reads. Even though I'm going to go visit my grandparents. It's 250 pages, but like I said, it's a children's book, so it shouldn't be too bad to read. And yeah, so in this one, Ashleigh and Mike are expecting their first child right after the new year. But on Christmas Eve, Ashleigh, she does her Christmas Eve special treat for the horses. So as Ashleigh makes the rounds of the stables at White Brook Farm, handing out Christmas treats to all her favorite horses, a stallion's kick puts both her life and the life of her baby in jeopardy. And then while she's in the hospital, she's dreaming about her child's future. And so yeah, really, really excited to read this one. That's going to be a good one for this evening when I get home and I'm going to be tired. Because it's the bigger city, so I'm definitely going to be tired when I get home, and that'll be a nice, easy, quick read. Boo-Boo wants to come say hi. So yeah, that's where we're at for today. Only 3 more books, so that's really, really exciting. And one is really, really tiny. The other one is similar to this, but just a little shorter. And then I still have the chunky one, which I know what all 3 books are that are left, so I'll know exactly what I get each day. But that's still, they're all 3. Well, the tiny one I'm not as excited for, but it's tiny and short, so it'll give me the perfect opportunity to read it and then work on other things. So that one is kind of what it is, but the other 2 I am excited for. So anyway, I will be gone in just a moment. You will be seeing what I'm getting the last 3 days here shortly. And yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, we are on day 22. Can't believe there's only 3 more days until Christmas. Like, I'm ready for it to be here now. But today we pulled number 3, which I've been wanting a nice little short book. And this is perfect. You can see how tiny this is. So, this is what we're going to be reading today. Before I open it, I know exactly what it is, and you'll find out in a second. Yesterday I pulled Ashleigh's Christmas Miracle by Joanna Campbell, which is one of the special edition Thoroughbred series, and I did not read any of this. So I went down to the bigger city, visited my grandparents, had lunch with them, hung out for a bit. Then I hit some bookstores, and when I got home, I like to get my books all written down, and I had it cataloged the last couple hauls I have done, so I decided to just go ahead and get them all cataloged because there is a lot. And so, long story short, I did not get any of this read at all yesterday, so this is perfect because I can read this really quickly, and then I can jump right into this, which this should be quick, and then I can read some of the others. My mindfulness prompt was to practice mindful waiting. which I'm a pretty patient person generally, like if I go out somewhere. And so I kind of did that inadvertently yesterday because we went out to Olive Garden for lunch, and the girl was all kind of flustered, the waitress. She was like, the kitchen's like backed up, like I gotta rush on your order. And I didn't even realize it had taken that long. We were just chatting and such. And you know, you have salad and breadsticks. It's not like you're sitting there starving. So yeah, we did that. That was really nice. And like I said, it was just kind of chill, and we were just enjoying chatting. We weren't worried about when the food was coming. So but yeah, so let's go ahead and see what this little book is. Like I said, I already know. And this book, I got 3 of them by mistake. I was trying to order a different book from Thrift Books, and they just have it cataloged wrong. And so I kept one to read for Christmas. The other 2, I'm going to try to find like a free little library or donate them to a thrift store or something. So it's upside down. So it's called Christmas Magic, and it's by Annette Broadrick. And this one, it says, 6 years ago, the magic of Christmas had disappeared forever for Natalie Phillips. On Christmas Day, her young dreams had shattered, and she'd been parted from the man she loved, Tony D'Angelo. Now Natalie was back home for the holidays, Christmas time, a time to spend with loved ones, a time of warmth and giving, a time of peace. Unfortunately, Natalie hadn't been able to find much peace until she saw Tony again. Suddenly the magic returned, and with it Natalie found that yes, there really is a Santa Claus, and the greatest gift of all was Tony's love. I cannot read today, apparently. It just gotta go well trying to read the books. But so yeah, this is super short, like not even 100 pages, 93 pages. So gonna be really, really easy to read. So that's what I'm doing today. Gonna get these 2 read and then work on, I really want to finish up A Case of Two Cities. So I think that will be my priority. And that one only has like 100 and something pages. So I might be able to even sneak in another one, which would be fantastic. But we shall just see how the day goes. Anyway, that's it for now. And I will be right back with Christmas Eve pick. There's one chunkier one and then the other children's book. So we'll see if I'm reading the bigger one tomorrow or if that one's going to go on Christmas Eve. But I'll be right back. Day 23, happy Christmas Eve. And today we pulled number 11, which is the last, find the number here, the last children's book. So I know exactly which one it is, which I'm excited for. And yeah, I don't really have anything that I need to do today. So today is going to be a lot of snuggling with these guys and reading. Ideally, I would like to finish up my 24 Days of Bookmas books, and that way this last week I can just read the other books that I had on my TBR, but we shall see if that's possible. Yesterday I pulled this tiny little thing here, Christmas Magic by Annette Broadrick, and reading the synopsis, I wasn't all that excited about it, but it really wasn't bad. It was about like 90, a little over 90 pages. So really, really short, but actually really well written. So the synopsis definitely did not do this any justice. I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. I expected to unhaul it after I read it, but I really enjoyed the story. It's kind of like a second chance romance. There was, you know, some things that weren't the greatest about it, but for what it is, it was actually really, really enjoyable. So I did read that. Yesterday's mindfulness prompt was to write a mindful Christmas list. And not necessarily what you want as far as like presents go, like kids do, but more like what you want to get out of Christmas this year. And my whole goal, I don't like Christmas. And so my whole goal is just to, each year is to just be peaceful and relaxed and happy at Christmas. And so like the last few years we've stayed home and we played games and just had, well, I had a good time anyway. I don't know about my husband. And this year we are going to his mom's just because it worked out better for everyone that way, but I'm going in my pajamas. I'm going to be taking a game and we're all going to play a game together, and I'm not going to sit down at the table to eat. I was like, I don't want like a formal meal. So they're like, that's fine, whatever. So I'm just going to go. And that's really what I want out of Christmas, is no stress about it. Christmas Day, just, to be relaxed and such. And I know a lot of people get stressed like leading up to Christmas, trying to get all the gifts and the decorations and such. That part doesn't bother me. It's the day of. Like, I'm a homebody and I really just want to stay home and relax. And so, anyway, that was the mindfulness prompt. So I did get this read yesterday. And then we also had, excuse me, from the day before, Ashleigh's Christmas Miracle by Joanna Campbell, which is one of the thoroughbred books. This is like a special edition, super edition. So I had not gotten this read the day before because I ended up, I went and visited my grandparents, stopped at some book stores, and then I came home and got all the latest hauled books cataloged and whatnot, which took me the rest of the night. So I did read this in full yesterday. This is 250 pages. I was expecting it to read a little bit quicker, and I was hoping to get to something else in addition to these two books, but I didn't. And part of that is I did play Dead by Daylight during the day a little bit while I was reading this really short one, because I've been wanting to play that. So that's part of it. That slowed me down. But yeah, I did get at least these two read though. And this one, basically, Ashleigh, her and Mike are expecting their first child, and she gets kicked by a horse. And so she's like in this dream state, and she's dreaming about her daughter's future. So there's 3 parts, and it's when her daughter's 10, 13, and 16. And so yeah, that was pretty fun. I really like Ashleigh as the main character. When it switched over to Samantha, I didn't enjoy it as much, but I did enjoy this one. It was more her daughter. Ashleigh was just at the very beginning and such, so it's more her daughter, and it was kind of her imagining her life, like growing up and such. So yeah, pretty enjoyable. I did like this, and really enjoyed reading it. It was a nice, relaxing read, being that it's a children's book. So, boo-boo. Sorry. Boo-boo was like sniffing the books. That's why I was a little distracted, because I got some new books. I got a bunch of Lisa Kleypas books, and then I got a bunch of Iris Johansen books, and something smells because she was over there going to town. So anyway, that's why I was distracted. But now let's go ahead and I'll show you which book this is. And so yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I was kind of torn. I was like, I don't know if I want the children's one excuse me, on Christmas Eve or today, because it's going to be really easy read. But I'm kind of happy I got this today, because I know what the other one is too, obviously now. And that one, I'm happy to end the 24 Days of Bookmas with that book. So, here we go. If I can, my fingers never want to work. So this is the other Heartland Special Edition. So this is A Holiday Memory, and this is by Lauren Brooke. And so yeah, really excited for this one. And this one, so the other one was A Winter's Gift that was also a Heartland Special Edition, and that one's after Amy goes to college. This one, she's reflecting back to her last Christmas with her mom. So it says, it's December and Amy can't help but remember the last holiday she spent with her mother. Back then, Amy was training Sundance, the feisty buckskin pony they had rescued from an auction. While Sundance had proven to be a talent in the show ring, he was still impossible to handle in the stable. Frustrated by the pony's attitude and her mother's rigorous training schedule, Amy is lacking Holiday and Heartland spirit, but then Sundance suddenly falls ill, and as Amy watches over him, she is finally able to glimpse the vulnerable pony's true heart and understand the precious healing gift she shares with her mother. So, yeah, that one I'm really happy to get today, and it'll be a nice, relaxing read. And also, good news. So, I finally collected all of the Heartland main series and 4 out of the 5 of these special editions. Well, there's also Amy's Journal, which is super hard to get a hold of. It's not available. I think I found it on eBay for like $70. Amazon in used condition, but not like very good condition, for like $60 or something like that. Well, it finally popped up. I had it on my wish list on Thrift Books, and I was filling in some gaps from my latest haul. Excuse me. And I found it finally popped up. They had gotten a copy of Amy's Journal, and it was like 30 something, like almost $40. But that's like the cheapest price I could find, and it was said it was in good condition. So that is on its way. So I'll finally have the whole collection of the Heartland series of books, which I'm really excited for. It did say that the Amy's Journal is hardcover though, so but that's okay. At least I have a copy, so I'm happy with that. And some of the other editions that I did find available were, I think, not US editions, so the covers didn't match with what I had, which I didn't really like either, and I did not like the covers for those. And with the price point, I was like, but I did find, like I said, it popped up, and it says it's in good condition. It's the covers that match these, and so I'm really, really excited. But anyway, this portion has gotten a little longer, so I'll go ahead and jump off here, and I'll be right back for the last day of 24 Days of Bookmas, day 24, and I will show you what I'm reading then. Alright, we are finally on Christmas Eve, day 24, and of course we know the last book, which is book number 2, which is this chunky one right here, which I know exactly what it is, and we'll get into that in a second. We have a rare Bar. This is Marley. We call him Bar. And yeah, he's up here today, so that's fun. But yesterday we had pulled A Holiday Memory, which is a Heartland special edition by Lauren Brooke, and I did get this one read. It was a lot of fun. Amy's reflecting back on her last Christmas with her mom, and so yeah, that was fun. And so we did read that one, and I read a little bit more of A Cat Who Came Back for Christmas by Julia Romp. I still have about like 125 pages left, but I did read more of it as well, and that was kind of it. So, yeah, let's go ahead and open this one, which I'm really kind of glad I'm ending the 24 days on this one, because it is my favorite author, so it's a good one to end with. And so we have First Snow by Nora Roberts, which has 2 stories in it. A Will and a Way and Local Hero, which I don't think I've read either one of these. So that's going to be nice to end with 2 new stories from her that I haven't read yet. So A Will and a Way. Pandora McVee's life is tied up in knots. In order to respect her Uncle Jolly's last wishes, she is stuck spending Christmas isolated in the Catskills with Michael Donahue, the co-beneficiary of her uncle's will. Jolly was a matchmaker to the end, and apparently for some time beyond. The infuriating Michael is hard to live with, but what's harder still is not falling in love with her nemesis. Local Hero. After moving into a new Manhattan apartment and struggling to raise her son on her own, Hester Wallace doesn't have time for the holidays, let alone a romance. So when her neighbor Mitch Dempsey offers to watch her son Radley in the afternoon, she cautiously accepts. Yet the more time she spends with Mitch, the more difficult it becomes to deny the attraction. She's starting to rely on Mitch, and worse, she's letting him into her heart. So yeah, I'll be working on this. We are celebrating Christmas today as far as within our little group, because tomorrow we're spending it with other family. So I'm not sure how much of this I will read, but I'll definitely be working on this a little bit today. So that's going to be fun. We did also already open our other advent calendars. So the last mindfulness prompt is to listen to a Christmas song and really think about how it makes you feel and any memories it inspires and things like that. So we'll definitely be doing that as we're probably opening presents and playing games and such. So anyway, that is it for 24 days of Bookmas. Yeah, there were so many good ones I got read or got started, and it was a great 24 days. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope if you celebrate or if you don't, you have a fantastic day. Either way, so yeah, we're finally on Christmas Day. I thought it'd be kind of good just to jump on and recap everything. As far as today goes, I saved a very special book for today. This is a book I've wanted to read for a very, very long time, and that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So I've never read this. I've never seen the movies. I'm obviously familiar with them, just people talking in general. So I'm familiar with the story, but I've never actually read or watched the movie. So I'm going to read this, and then I'm hoping to watch the newest adaptation of Little Women after I'm done reading this. So that is the plan for today and starting into the last week of December. And then I have 3 of my ABC Author Challenge books I still need to read. One is like 125 pages left. That's the case of Two Cities, which I've talked about. And then I have 2 others. So those are high priorities. And then some of these 24 Days of Bookmas books I do want to finish up as well. So this is what I'm going to be spending my day on today, in between, other festive activities and such. But let's just recap really quickly what I pulled and what I did and did not actually finish. So on day 1, we pulled this one, which is the Family Read Aloud Christmas Treasury, with selections by Alice Lowe, and it's illustrated by Mark Brown. So this just has a bunch of different collections of stories and poems and such. And I did get this read in full, so that was good. I'm struggling with the mindfulness prompt that I stuck in there. So this one got read. Then we pulled the other big one, which is Raggedy Ann and Andy Giant Treasury. This has 4 adventures plus 12 short stories. And this was a lot of fun to read, and I did read this in full as well. Has a lot of good illustrations. This is by Johnny Gruelle. So yeah, this was a fun one for sure. And that one got read. Then I pulled Nora Roberts' Christmas with You, which has Gabriel's Angel and Home for Christmas. And I also read both of these stories, so this one I did finish as well. Gabriel's Angel I had read before, really, really enjoyed it. Home for Christmas I don't think I've read before. It didn't seem familiar to me, and it was really short and quick, but it was a good one as well. So there was that one. And then we got The Boxcar Children Winter Special, The Mystery on the Ice by Gertrude Chandler Warner. And I did read this one. This one was a lot of fun. There was like an ice skating troupe and such. So that was fun. Then we pulled The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivy. And took me several days, but I did get this one read in full as well. This is one of the ones I was most excited for, and it didn't disappoint. Like, I absolutely adore this book. I see myself rereading it next year as well. So this was a really, really good one. It's based on a Russian folktale about this childless couple who makes a snow child out of ice, and then it comes to life. That's what it's based on, and it was really good. Then we pulled Christmas Journeys. This has 4 different ones. You have A Man to Live For by Emma Richmond, Yuletide by Catherine George, which I read both of those. And then you have Mistletoe Kisses by Lindsay Stevens and Christmas Charade by Kay Gregory. I did not get to those last 2. So this one, if I have time, I'll finish those last 2 stories. Otherwise, I'll save them for next year. Not a huge deal. But I was enjoying the first one. I really liked the second one. It was okay. And so I do want to read the other 2 and see if I'll enjoy them. But I'm not sure I'll have time. So this one's kind of low priority. So I did not actually finish this one, but I did read 2 of the stories in it. Then we pulled The Christmas Shoes by Donna Van Leer. And this is based on the song The Christmas Shoes by New Song, which is one of my favorite songs. I love this book. It was very, very heavy, but it was so good. Like, everything I love about the song was expanded upon in here, and I just really, really enjoyed this one. So I did get this one read as well. Then we pulled Nora Roberts' The Christmas Wish, and this has All I Want for Christmas and First Impressions. And so I did read both of these, which All I Want for Christmas, you have identical twin boys, Zeke and Zach, and they want a wife and a mom for Christmas. So a wife for their dad and then a mom for themselves. And then First Impressions, you have Vance banning, and he moves to a royal place just trying to stay off the radar and such. And his neighbor is very friendly and such, which he doesn't like. But of course they end up developing feelings for each other. So these were both a lot of fun. And like I said, I did read that one in full. Then we got Winners by Danielle Still. This one I read, I think, about 70 pages, 74 pages. And so this one I would like to finish up this week. I did not obviously read all of it. I only read a little bit of it. It wasn't my favorite one. Like, I wasn't not enjoying it, but I wasn't loving it either. So I would like to finish this one up. So this will be kind of a bigger priority to finish up, especially since it's not an anthology. It's a full story. I would like to finish this one up. So that will be a priority this last week in December. Then we got When Christmas Comes Again, the World War I Diary of Simone Spencer. So this was one of the Dear America books, of course, and really did enjoy this one. I learned, like, physical therapy really came about because of World War I. It wasn't very practiced up to that point, but because of the need for it after World War I, that really kind of jump-started physical therapy, which I did not know about. So that was a kind of a fun little fact. So this one was a really good one, and I did read that one in full. Then we got Faithful by Alice Hoffman, and this one I read about, 31 pages, and got to, that was just the first chapter. Like, the first chapter was pretty long, and this isn't for me. I decided to DNF this. It kind of put me in a reading slump that day. I did hardly read that day because I was trying to force myself to read this, and I don't know, it was the kind of direction it took. Like, I like the idea of this book. You have a girl, and her friend are in an accident, and it's kind of her struggling with that. Like, she kind of walks away from the accident when her friend doesn't, and so she's really struggling, like, with guilt and such. And yeah, the premise of it is good, even though it's a heavier premise, but it just, like, the turn it took, it was just weird, and kind of the writing style of it, I didn't enjoy it. So that one got DNF'd. I'm not going to be finishing that one. Then we had Heartland Special Edition, A Winter's Gift. This is by Lauren Brooke, and I did read this one in full. This one, Amy's in college now, and she comes back home for Christmas break, and her and Ty have to help a pregnant mare. So Then, excuse me, this one we have Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I kind of threw this one in because it's short. I was thinking ice, winter, do that connection. And I did not expect to enjoy this one, and I actually did. Like, it is very, very spicy, but that aside, like, I like the story part of this and the atmosphere and everything. So, I really did enjoy this one. I did read it in full, and I plan on reading more of the series as well. So, then we got Julie of the Wolves by Jean Craighead George, and I did read this one in full. So, that was I had never read this before. It's a children's book. You have Mayax, and she runs away from home. She's headed towards San Francisco, but she gets lost and kind of, in order to survive, bonds with this pack of wolves. So that was a pretty good one as well. Then we got one that I was so excited for, An Echo Through the Snow by Andrea Thalassinos, and I ended up DNFing this one too. Again, I only read 24 pages, but it's like 2 chapters. But the writing style, it's like, it wasn't very cohesive at all. Like, it's very confusing. And again, I like the idea of the story. She adopts this husky, and they get into dog sled racing, and then start learning about the history of the Chukchi people. And so I like the idea of it, but the writing I just could not get through. And so this one is DNF'd and probably going to be unhauled as well. I'm kind of hesitant because I really do like the idea of it. And so I'm like, well, maybe I'll figure out the writing, but I think I'm going to probably unhaul it. Then we got another Dear America book, Christmas After All, The Great Depression Diary of Minnie Swift. And I really did enjoy this one too. There's a lot of different characters in here. It was fun. She kind of based it on her, I think, her mom's family during the Depression era. And the author of this one, let's see, I forget, is Catherine Lasky. So yeah, just that she kind of had that personal inspiration there as well. It was a lot of fun to read. I did like the World War I diary better, When Christmas Comes Again, but this one was very enjoyable as well, and I did read that one in full. Then we got The Gift by Danielle Steele, and this one I ended up just, like, it was from the day before, and I was just planning on reading a little bit and then switching over to the current day's book, and I ended up just really, really enjoying this book and reading it all the way through and finishing it that day. You have 2 different families. One family has lost their little girl, and then you have a young girl that kind of comes into their life and helps them heal from that grief and such. So it's a really, really good book. I really enjoyed it. Again, kind of heavy. You have child loss, and you have other trigger warnings, so definitely keep those in mind. Like, look them up if you're interested in reading this, but it was such a good book. So that one got read in full. Then we pulled Christmas Bells of Georgia. It's a 4-in-1 collection. You have Jeanie Smith Cash, Rose Allen McCauley, Jeri Odell, and Deborah Ullrick. So this one, well, they each kind of wrote their own little piece. So it is kind of an anthology. It's also more like of a collaboration because you have 4 sisters, and each sister gets this letter bringing them to Monticello, Georgia, where they're going to inherit a plantation. And so each one writes each different sister, and then at the end there's kind of a epilogue written by Jeanie Smith Cash that ties it all together. I read the first sister. So you have Holly, and she didn't know she was adopted, and so she books a flight out of Missouri immediately, and she's just really hurt and confused. I read that one. I did not like the writing in that one. Like, it was not very well written. But again, I like the idea of the story. So I may try to finish this one, especially because all the stories kind of tie together. I mean, that's 4 sisters. But, and the other sisters are written by different authors, so I might enjoy their writing better. So I'm going to try to finish this one. I just don't know if I will. It's kind of lower priority because I didn't enjoy it as much, but I would like to finish this one if I can. So then we got Prairie Christmas Collection. So this has 9 historical Christmas romances from the Great Plains. So you have Take Me Home by Tracie Bateman, which I read, and it was so short. It was like 50 something pages, and it hooked me right away. It was so much fun. You have this teacher coming in. She's kind of an emergency situation. They lost their other teacher, so she comes in to teach for the remainder of the semester or whatever. So and it's just this little town, and it's not what she's used to, and she just wants to go home. And then she ends up falling for one of the local boys. So it was so good. Like, I love like that time period, like Pioneer and such. And so I really, really enjoyed that. But that's the only one I got read. And then you have One Wintry Night by Pamela Griffin, Image of Love by Joanna Grote, The Christmas Necklace by Maryn Linger, A Christmas Gift of Love by Darlene Mindrup, God Jewel by Tracie Peterson, Circle of Blessings by Deborah Raney, Christmas Cake by Janet Spaeth, and Colder Than Ice by Jill Stengl. This one is going to be one, if I have time, I'll continue to read it for the remainder of the month. Otherwise, I'll save it for next year and continue on with the stories next year. But I really did enjoy this one, and so it's definitely one I would like to continue to read this last week. But again, it's low priority because it's an anthology, and so the stories, don't really go together. So that one's low priority. Then we got The Cat Who Came Back for Christmas, How a Cat Brought a Family the Gift of Love by Julia Romp. And I'm about 125 pages in, and it's like 272 pages. So this one I've read on 2 different days, the day I picked it, and then I read part 1, and then I read it the other day, continuing on. This one is like top priority to finish up. I am really, really enjoying this. So this is top priority. You have Julia, and her son George is autistic, and this cat comes into their life and really kind of helps George a lot. And so, yeah, really enjoying this one, and I'm autistic as well, and so I can really relate to some of the things George struggles with, and the cat's adorable. So yeah, this is like the number 1 priority to finish up. So there's that one. Then we got Ashleigh's Christmas Miracle by Joanna Campbell, which is a thoroughbred super edition. So at this point, Ashleigh is expecting her first child, and an accident happens. And so it's her dreaming of her child's future. And it's like when her child's 10, 13, and 16, I think. And she's just dreaming, like it's kind of a dream state of what this child's future is going to be at those different ages. So I did read this one in full, really, really enjoyed it as well. Then we got Christmas Magic by Annette Broadrick. And so this is a little one. It was sent to me by mistake. I was trying to order a different book, and they sent this to me. Then I tried to reorder the book, and they sent 2 more of this to me. And so I wasn't expecting much from this, and ended up really, really enjoying it. It's really short, just under 100 pages. But you have Natalie Phillips. It's kind of a second chance romance. She's coming back to her hometown and reconnecting with her childhood love at that point. So it was actually really well written, and I really, really did enjoy it. Pick up my mindfulness prompt. So that one I did read in full. Then we had the other Heartland one. This is another special edition, A Holiday Memory, and again by Lauren Brooke. And so in this one, Amy's reflecting on her last Christmas with her mom. And yeah, this one I absolutely loved. I love the Heartland series. So, and then lastly, that brings us to yesterday, which I got First Snow by Nora Roberts. Me and my husband and I, we did our gifts and such yesterday, and then played a bunch of games and whatnot, and then went to his mom's and watched Christmas Carol over there. So this one has a Will and a Way and Local Hero, and I did start this one. I'm about 72 pages in of A Will and a Way. I'm really enjoying it. I love Nora Roberts. These are 2 of the Nora Roberts stories I have not read yet. I have her complete collection, most of which I read, but there were some that I collected this past year that I didn't have, and so I hadn't read, and these are 2 of those stories. So I do want to continue this one. So first priority is this, then this. This is really quick and easy to read, and then I'll probably finish off Winners. And then, like I said, the other, excuse me, goodness, the other, Christmas Bells of Georgia is kind of a collab, and then the other 2 anthologies, we'll see if I get to or not. So that means I read 16 total of my 24 books, like in full, and then, I have a bunch of partial reads, plus 2 DNFs, so not bad. Like I said, especially the anthologies, this was more just for fun, and so I wasn't as worried about finishing them. It was just kind of different books to read each day, and the unwrapping of the books, which I just love. So anyway, that is it for 24 Days of Bookmas. This is part 3 that you're seeing right here. And so if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, definitely check those out. I mean, I kind of went through, but I talked a little bit more about my thoughts on the books in those parts. So if you want a little bit more idea of kind of what the book is about and my thoughts, definitely go check out those videos. And I'm going to go ahead and leave you here. A Merry Christmas again. I hope you had a fantastic one if you do celebrate. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you just had a really good day and was able to spend it with friends and family, even if you're not celebrating the holidays. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys here. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.